Ladies and gentlemen, look out. Here it is. Show that you've been waiting for ever since last week. It is showtime tonight. Welcome once again for the second time, the Guys Empire podcast on tonight. It is going to be electrifying on tonight. I know some of y'all don't know me, but you will before this night is over with. I am big time Doug Brooks. I promise you, you will get to know me in a very crazy way before this night is over with. I'm not the star tonight. I am a star, but I'm not the star. Ladies and gentlemen, I am surrounded, as you can see, by these stars of the Guys Empire podcast on tonight. First of all, I want to introduce all of these guys tonight. It is going to be crazy. This is a debate style show. I promise you tonight it's going to be crazy. Why? Because number one, I'm big time. And anytime you see big time, it's going to get crazy. It's going to electrify. It's going to be electrifying. And I got some fire topics tonight that I got to get these guys. I need to hear what they saying tonight. I want to see who the baddest guy is. First of all, look. We got to respect folks, right? And I have manners. I'm going to do it differently. Usually, when you got contenders and you got the champion, usually you introduce the contender first. I'm not doing that. Why? Because I think he deserved the respect. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to introduce you to the champ from last week. No question about it. Wire to wire, Gene, my guy, Gene. Say hello, Gene.
Big time. I'm super happy to have you hosting the show, man. Anytime I can get on a stream with you, it's a lot of fun. Last week, we had a great conversation between the four of us, Bino, Trey, Ryan, the Guys Huddle. I mean, if you haven't checked out their show, it is phenomenal. Listen to it. Trey will make you want to throw your phone, and Ryan will be very upset when you talk bad about Lamar Jackson. But no, I'm kidding. But I appreciate being on the show, and I appreciate the nice words, man. I'm looking forward to getting it in tonight, though.
All right. That's my guy, Gene. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to go ahead and say this. I watched the show last week. I was very impressed by all these guys. For the first time, I got to see two of them in particular. But ladies and gentlemen, down to my right, your left eye, you look down, and ladies and gentlemen, you see a gentleman down there that know what he's talking about. This guy right here is coming with fire tonight. I feel it already. Ladies and gentlemen, look, y'all put your hands together for my guy, Trey, right here. What's up, Trey?
Hey, man, I'm just happy to be here. We had a fire show last week. I think we're going to get another repeat session in. Everybody in here is a dog. Everybody knows what they're talking about, man. It's a great thing over there at the Empire.
Awesome, man. That's great. And we're going to try to rush through this because I already know it's going to be fire from the first topic. Ladies and gentlemen, down right beside Trey, another guy who was very impressive last week. But he's a contender now. I'm sorry. Gene was the man last week. Somebody got to take out Gene. Could it be that my man Ryan is going to take him out tonight? Come on, everybody. Come on. Just go crazy for my guy Ryan. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, how we doing, man? Excited to be back again, coming for Gene this time. Talked to Gene multiple times this week. Shout out to Wire to Wire. You guys put on a great show. Also, shout out to Sports Empire and Innocent for making this all happen. Bino, I'm gonna be coming at you today, man. We gonna get real hot real quick. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to get you on. And shout out to you, big time, man. I caught your show about 3 or 4 times in the last week or two. So that's a fun show. If you haven't checked it out, go see Big Time's show.
I appreciate that, Ryan. It ain't about me. Everybody should know who I am. I mean, look, I ain't gonna even pump my show tonight. If you just find Big Time. But anyway, last but not certainly least, my cowboy brother. Dog, look, Bino, look, you better represent tonight, man. I'm looking for you to take Gene out tonight. I'm putting you on the spot tonight. I need you to take him out tonight because we stars. Let your star shine tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother, Bino, is in the house. What's up, Bino?
What's going on, man? What's up, my brother?
All
I'm excited, man. I appreciate y'all allowing me to be back on the show. It seems like I got some guys coming after me tonight, so I'm definitely gonna have to step it up. So let's get after it.
That's
First
what
of all,
Ryan said, Bino. I'm good. I love you.
Yeah, we ain't scared,
Hey man,
Bino.
it's all love. It's all love.
We not scared, Bino. We not scared tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get this on the road. We got some amazing topics tonight. We are going to hit a home run right from the beginning, y'all. Y'all ready? Let's go to work. I'm just going to give the topic out, and I'm going to get out the way. Here is the first question for the night. Would you rather have Robert Ory and his 7 rings that only made $54 million during his career, or would you rather have James Harden with no rings and $300 million? Respect to the champ, Gene. Let's go to work, dog.
So I feel like I'm going to be on the negative side of this, right? Like I've seen this argument before. I've seen this debate before on different platforms. I'm taking the $300 million. We go to work, right? We go to work for a job, and that's what the NBA is. It's a profession. You make $300 million. That's not just rich for you. That's rich for my family. That's rich for my kids. That's rich. My mother doesn't have to work again. Guys, I understand winning championships is incredible. I'm a winner. I'm going to win, in the words of Denzel Washington. However, $300 million is life-changing money, not just for you, but for your entire family. If we're going to sit up here and argue and believe that $54 million over a 14-year career is enough money, not just to change your life, but to change everyone's life in your family. I have a godson. I have a best friend. I don't want him to have to suffer. I want them to be able to get anything they want. So unselfishly, which sounds like it'd be selfishly, right? Unselfishly, I want the $300 million. I'd rather have the career, win an MVP on my own. That's okay. But I'd rather have the career that can take care of my family for my entire life. And I feel like that anyone in a hypothetical situation that would say they would take the $54 million is really just panning to the winning and looking at the two players as far as I'd rather have 7 rings too, but not than $300 million.
Wow. All right. Trey, let's go to work, sir. You got a minute. Let's go to work.
If I had to put myself in that situation, like right now, I'm gonna say I would take $300 million over 7 rings too. But I also didn't spend my whole life crafting a basketball career and everything. So I think if it was me personally, and I spent my whole life loving basketball, into basketball, I played basketball, I made it all the way to the league. $54 million is still a lot of money. I get it's probably not generational wealth throughout the line and everything, but he also played in the late 90s where a dollar was different. 7 rings, I think I would have to go with if it was me in his shoes, and I had to pick my career path. If I was a basketball star, I had to go through college. I sacrificed everything for it. I would rather win my 7 rings and still make more than most people are going to make in their lifetime in my career.
Wow. So that's 2 for 2 on that. Come here, Ryan. Let's go to work. Let me see if you got something different. Let me go to let's see.
Listen, this is where it comes to me personally. So first off, if I got $54 million and I got 7 rings, I'm winning. I don't care if you have 300. Reason being, if you're smart with your money, you can turn that $54 million to 100 million, 200, 300, 400. So that's what I'm going to do with my money. If I'm making that much money, you think I'm not going to invest it back in? Not a chance. I'm taking the 7 rings and the 54, turning it into 4, 5, 6, you know what I'm saying? And if you look at it, $54 million back in the day, when I mean back like 90s, 80s, is where today's, it could be, billions, just because how much everything's gone up. So if you're asking me, I'll take the 54 million, invest it back in, and take the 7 rings.
Wow. Bino, the star is on you, man.
Yep.
Look.
Yep.
Look, you got to go to work, man.
Right,
let's go, Bino.
Yeah. So I'll pretty much agree with Ryan right there, man. I can't lie. I'm taking the 54 mil, 7 rings. Like Gene said, it's our job to go to the league and play. But I feel like when it comes to me, like as my job, I want to go to work and be happy. 300 million is crazy. Don't get me wrong. But with 54 million, like Ryan said, you can turn that into so much more money. And you got 7 rings. Your legacy gonna live on. People are gonna remember you for winning 7 rings. Nobody gonna remember this dude that got 300 million, whatever. Cool. I mean, he's not. It's not gonna be. Nobody's gonna talk about it later on down the road. At 20 years from now, cool. You got $300 million, but you're not worth nothing. You didn't win nothing in the league. You got to win some finals, man. That's what we base these players off today. So in my opinion, I'm taking the 54 mil. I'm gonna flip it into 300 mil, and I got 7 rings. So
can I tell you why you're wrong?
Yeah, this is rebuttal time. So I got 2 and 2.
No, all 3 of them said they taking 54. Trey said he's taking 54. I want to tell Dino why he's wrong, though. Are you telling me that Robert Horry is going to be more remembered in 20 years than James Harden? James Harden has an MVP. James Harden, you can't sell that, right? And if we're talking about investing money, I could invest 300 million too. It's 6 times more money. 6 times.
Sure. I agree.
It's not a couple times more. And doubling your money, investing it is great.
As a competitor, you want to win. Right?
Of course I do. But I won 6 times more money. James Harden's one of the top 75 greatest players of all time.
Averaging 30 points a game for a season and getting paid 300 mil. That's more important. That's better than winning 7 rings in your career.
If the money was equal, I would 100% would take the 7 rings. The money is not equal. And if I'm a top 75 player in the world.
But $54 million can literally set you up for your life.
Just calculation for you. That's $126 million in today's money versus money back in the 90s.
You're playing the 90s today. We're saying if both those guys were around right now, 300 million versus 54 million. Like, you guys can go back and hypothetically talk about what inflation has done to money. I'm talking about right now. Your career starts right now. Your age right now. 54 million and 7 rings, or 300
for life with $54 million. I'm good.
Your family's not, Bino. But your
family could be if you listen.
If I invest my money the right way, I'm good.
Is this a sports show or an investment show? We talk about like stocks.
That's what I'm doing with 54 million. But
I just think like if you ask me right now if I would rather start my 23-year-old life and go to the NBA, I'm gonna take $300 million. But if I spent the last 23 years of my life honing my basketball career, I would rather make a killing more than most people are gonna make in their life. Better yet, just the years I played in the league and I won 7 times at the game I loved. It's the thing I spent my life on.
I have a question. Did the question state starting in like 2023, or was it back then and with James Harden now?
It didn't state anything. It said, would you rather have $54 million in rings?
Yeah.
Which one would you rather have?
So, but in that same theory, like James Harden's the biggest loser. Yeah, you got 300 million, but
he's not the biggest loser.
You could have 54 million and
they're all losers. They're all losers because they didn't win a championship. Dan Marino's the biggest loser. They're all losers because they never won a championship. That's kind of bullshit, right?
7 rings, man.
Yeah.
Dude, teams win rings. Teams win rings.
I get it's Robert Horry. I get it's Robert Horry, but if it's me, nah.
All right. Listen, I need you guys to save your breath because we got plenty more to go because y'all already on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you got to tune in to the Guys Empire. You just got a lesson in math. You just got a lesson in Wall Street. You got a lesson in stocks and bonds. And you got you got people in here that's saying $300 million and no rings is a loser. And then you got a guy in here saying, look, if you invest it and you could flip it like this is the housing department or something. It really, you know what I'm saying? It's just incredible. This is why you got to tune in these guys. These guys go deep. You see what I'm saying? But that's the end of that one. I need everybody in the chat right now to tell me who won that little round there out of these 4 guys. Ready, set, go. Do it now. Do it now. Those that are you, I guess I'm supposed to ask my producers who took it out. Am I supposed to do that, y'all? Let me, somebody in the judges panel, please let me know because they need to know if they're winning. So because if they know they're losing, all that means is they need to bring more fire. You see what I'm saying?
One of the people just throw it in the chat this
right now. Right now, Gene is winning that one 5. Bino got 3, Ryan got 2, and Trey got 1. So as the champion has come out strong, has come out on fire. Y'all better step up your game real quick, which leads now to our next question. Number 2. Y'all know this really get crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, and you in the chat, I need you guys to debate it in the chat. I need you to listen to this. Y'all check this question out. I know we could end the show on this one. Watch this. Ladies and gentlemen, here you go. Who are the top 5 influential NBA players of all time? Again, who is the top 5? Who are the top 5 influential NBA players of all time? Ryan, let's go.
All right, top 5. This is my top 5, but I don't got any in particular order. Are you wanting them in particular order?
Man, just give me your top. Just give
me.
All
right, first off, I got LeBron James. First, he's going first. Just growing up from obviously my era, I'm not going to speak on Jordan because obviously that's not the era I grew up in. But LeBron, in my opinion, he's been dominating my whole life that I've been watching basketball. Almost longer than I've been watching. So almost longer than I've been alive. First. Second person is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, when you were in school and you're goofing off doing whatever, you're halfway across the room, you're trying to toss a paper in the trash can. They don't, they yell Kobe. They don't yell, LeBron or Jordan. They yell Kobe. That's just what you do. So, the next person I'm gonna have to put up there is Steph Curry, just because I think he's influential and he's changed the game so much with the 3-point shooting. Another thing, like I've brought up before, is when you walk in the YMCA right now, kids are chucking it up behind half court and yelling Curry now. So like instead of Kobe, now it's Curry with the shooting. The next person I would have to say, in my honest opinion, and this is gonna be a little contradicting, Ja Morant. I think he's one of the most influential basketball players, but it's not necessarily always for the great things. It can be good or bad, but I think he's becoming this generation's influential, player, and I feel like that's why he's catching so much heat in the media and stuff right now. And last, I would have to say Kevin Durant, just because him and LeBron have been going back and forth, back to back. In my opinion, like it's if you either love LeBron or you love KD, you can't like them both. So,
wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that. You get a different perspective. Obviously, Ryan is a young guy, and he's going with this era that we have now. Let's see if the other young guy got the same type of feel and vibe. Come in here, Bino. What's your top 5 most influential NBA players of all time?
All right, so 1 and 2. I mean, it's LeBron and Jordan. I'm not going to get much into that. I mean, we've had this discussion our whole entire lives. For me, it's always been MJ versus LeBron. So I'm just going to leave that one there. And at number 3, I'm going with Kobe. Obviously, I mean, the Mamba mentality, and not just what he did on the court, even just what he did off the court. And as a father myself, just seeing the way that he raised all those little girls and everything like that, I took that shit personal. And I took a lot from it, to be honest. So, I got to put Kobe at number 3. Number 4 is Stephen Curry. Just his ability to shoot the ball, what he's done to the game. You can't even go out to anywhere you go around here, any park, anything like that. You see everybody just shooting these long 3-point shots. And as a kid growing up, watching Tony Parker, all these guys, I wasn't trying to base my game around a 3-point shot. And I was out here doing floaters and everything. And now you got guys out here in middle school jacking up 3-pointers. So just what he did to the game is pretty impressive. And then at number 5, I'm gonna have to put in, this one's tough. I'm probably just gonna have to go with Shaq, though, to be honest. Just a dominant big man, just what he did in the early 2000s with Kobe, all of them, just being he was dominant in the paint, and he's probably one of the best centers that we've ever seen. And I mean, you can't really take away what Shaq did to the game. And now the game's kind of fallen away from that post dominant big man. So I'd say just coming from my era, yeah, Shaq would probably be my number 5.
Wow. Listen, before I move to Trey real quick, listen, let me ask you people in the chat, are y'all sharing this? I mean, you got to do something. You just can't watch it. I need you guys to share. There's some serious stuff going on in here. Share, do whatever you got to do. Tag somebody. Do it right now. Trey, tell me who are your top 5 most influential players, NBA players of all time.
I'm going to start with somebody no one said, I don't believe, Allen Iverson. I think it should be the most influential. I feel like growing up, that's who I knew as the most influential player of all time. He brought, I feel like, self-expression into the league more than anyone else, when you could be yourself and you could still play and be yourself. I get there was players before that did that, but I felt like it was always frowned upon, like when people like Dennis Rodman would do it. I definitely have to put Stephen Curry up there with just how he changed the game and the shooting. Of course, everyone knows that. He made it okay to start shooting 35-footers on the regular if you could hit it in practice. No one ever questions his shooting ability, and now there's guys out there that have the same follow-up as him. Third, Michael Jordan, just because he saved basketball back then. I think that's what they say. You know, he brought love into the game. He revolutionized the game. He was the thing. What was the thing on the train track that makes it switch back, pass back and forth? That was Michael Jordan pushing the NBA to the right path. After him, I think it gets tough when it comes to influence. I was trying to think hard on this one, but I can't think of a player before Chris Bosh, because I'm a big man fan, that brought shooting from a big man at 40+%. I know there was shooting bigs before him, but I don't remember, maybe I'm wrong, a big man that just shot the volume like he shot, and it was okay for someone that big to not stay in the paint as much as they did. Number 5 is tough. I think just for the way they influenced the generation, I got to put LeBron on there. I didn't want to put him on there because I don't feel like influence-wise he did anything more than make kids that grew up watching him love the game. But I feel like every best player in there did the same thing.
Wow.
Can you let me out my cage? Can you let me out my cage right now?
I got to sit you up, Jane, because, see, I'm looking at the young guys here, and unfortunately for some of y'all weren't even born. Now, if I know Gene like I think I know him right now, I'm telling y'all, you about to hear some names that you ain't even think about. I guarantee that, because Gene is in the bridge, as I like to call him. He's old enough to know some of these guys that I think he's about to call out. Then he's young enough to know some of the guys that you guys are calling out. Watch what I'm talking about. The champ is here. Let's go, Gene.
I don't want to cheat. I don't want to go like a shout out to Kobe Bryant. He's not going to be on my list. I love the guy. I don't want to cheat when I do this, right? So like I look at errors and I look at what has been done for the game of basketball. And to not have Bill Russell on your list is blasphemy. The first African-American head coach, 11 championships. The guy has done everything. Like the impact that man had on basketball is something that there's a reason that number 6 won't be worn anymore. There's a reason. That guy did so many things for basketball, for African-Americans in basketball, in Boston, which was one of the most racist towns in the country. So I wanted to put Wilt on there because he changed the lane, but I can't put him there because I have 4 more. Magic saved the game of basketball. He saved it. Magic and Bird, and I'm leaving Bird off. I get it. But Magic and Bird saved the game of basketball in the 80s. The Showtime Lakers are still talked about today. Watch the most watched 30 for 30 is the Showtime Lakers. Go watch it. They're incredible. Now I get into the big 3. Like Mike, if I could be like Mike, was one of the most popular slogans ever, right? So Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the greatest basketball player ever to touch, changed shoe contracts for athletes, changed the amount of money that athletes can make, made it okay for athletes to start receiving profit per purchase. That is huge for the game of basketball. Number 2, the answer, Allen Iverson. Trey, thank you. Allen Iverson changed culture, changed the way it's looked at, the way people dress to play basketball. Listen, Timmy Hardaway created the crossover, but Allen Iverson created the damn crossover. Like Timmy Hardaway was great. Allen Iverson did in the way people dress, the way people act on the court, the attitude, the effort of that small man. And then look, LeBron James, whether you love him or hate him, I'm not putting him 1. I'm just giving you my 5. LeBron James, whether you love him or hate him, has done so much great for basketball and for outside of basketball. I mean, you got a guy that's literally built schools, a guy that's done so much for the community. He's won championships in 3 different cities, in Los Angeles, Cleveland, and Miami. He is literally the modern day better version of Magic Johnson. The passing that this man's had throughout his career. You want to talk about a guy that won an NBA Finals, leading his team in points, rebounds, blocks, assists. Like, the guy's unbelievable. You can't not have him there. Those 5 are the 5. And I feel bad. I left Kobe off. I left Wilt off. I left Bird off. Bird changed the game for white athletes. I wish I could put them all in there. But the 5 that are there, and I don't mean to trash on any of your lists. I get that you didn't watch them. But being a historian, I never watched Bill Russell. But I can study what he's done for the game of basketball and understand how much of an impact. I didn't get a chance to watch too much of Magic. But what I can do is I can look at Magic and say, Magic Johnson has done something for basketball in the 80s. And Steph Curry, I can't believe I couldn't put him on my list because he's changing the game the way people shoot.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard some fire real quick. Listen, are there any rebuttals to anybody's on my panel here? Any rebuttals at all on this? Any rebuttals to anybody?
I don't really have a rebuttal necessarily, but I got some comments coming in from the Guys Huddle over here. We got MJ, Magic, Wes, LeBron, Kobe, and it says y'all young kids are silly. So we just got a couple comments wanted to throw out there. That's from Andre.
I get it. You guys are younger, and like just when you say, and nothing against you, Trey, I understand that you gave 3 great answers to start, but to say Chris Bosh, like say Dirk. Dirk has had more of an impact for the game, being a foreign-born player that shoots the lights out at 7 foot before you say Chris Bosh. When you look at – and look, I realize how dominant Shaq was. I do, but he doesn't crack my top 10 of influential players. Chris Bosh probably doesn't crack my top 50.
I think Chris Bosh put the volume out there. Like I said, Dirk shot threes, but Chris Bosh was a volume 3-point shooter. Dirk was a postman. Dirk was not out there shooting.
Dirk was not a postman.
Bro, this man Shaq was breaking backboards, bro.
Dirk was not a postman. You really need to.
Post fade.
Also,
Dirk had inside game. Dirk had mid range. Dirk was not shooting 40% on 6 3-pointers a night.
Shout out to Shaq outside of the court. He's the first, I believe, person to get his own shoes inside Walmart. So, I mean, that's another way he's helping out the community.
Fact.
Wow.
And he invented the Hack of Shaq.
Wow.
That actually wasn't. It's called the Hack of Shaq. That wasn't invented by Shaq. That was invented to stop Wilt Chamberlain, who couldn't shoot free throws. He used to shoot him underhand.
Wow.
I didn't watch them, so. But
I get it. I didn't either, but I studied it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't see Bill Russell on there. Like, I get what he did and everything for the league and like jump started the NBA.
Anything before the 80s,
he's like almost a laughing stock when people talk about GOATs and this and that, and people are like, "Oh yeah, Bill Russell's 11 rings." Like it's laughed at because it was him and Wilt, and that's it.
He's not a laughing stock. Now I get what you're saying as far as Bill Russell's is overrated when people talk about the GOAT, but this isn't the GOAT. This is influence. And what Bill Russell did for basketball in the 60s and 70s will never be done. Will never. Look, I love Wilt. Wilt wasn't a great guy. Bill Russell was a guy. He was a trailblazer for the game of basketball. First African-American coach. He took over for Red Auerbach. Like, you have to understand what that man's done, the influence he's done. Russell's not a laughing stock.
Yeah, but I just feel like no one has ever. I don't even think people in his era probably said, "I want to grow up and beat Bill Russell."
Giannis cooking the
people in the 2020 eras talk about. I would not mind going to the league. Oh, AI. I would not. They talk about players.
I'm not trying to bring big time into this, but I guarantee you, during Big Time's generation and his era, people wanted to grow up and beat Bill Russell. What Bill Russell did change. It's like saying that no one wanted to grow up and beat Jackie Robinson. That's the impact he had on basketball.
No question. But I ain't going to get into that because there's a couple names that could very well be in there. If you're going to say Bill, then Wilt has to come into play as well, being influential. But I heard Ja Morant's name
Yeah,
I don't
you
think that
did.
was Pino's that.
Listen,
Punch with a gun.
no, you're not understanding. Listen,
I
if
know.
you
I want to move, but I heard Rhyan of all time, and I'm like,
no,
but whoever said that,
I did.
please explain to me before we move
I'll
why
explain to you.
in the
Listen,
name of
2023,
NBA did you just say Ja Morant? Please, somebody. Who said that?
2023
Bino? Was
is
that you,
I did.
Bino?
I did.
Bino,
Yeah,
was it you, man?
that's
That said
me.
Ja Morant.
That wasn't me,
You
bro.
know who said
John
that?
Morant, nah.
I'll take credit for that, but hear me out.
Oh,
2023.
Rhyan said that. Rhyan, I'm gonna give you the
2023
chance to retract your answer, but go ahead.
No, I'm not retracting it. 2023
Okay.
is supposed to be the most social media influence. That's all it is now. And when you see NBA stars all over, not saying it's good or bad, but he's definitely influential. Just look around. I mean,
So is
he's a
Draymond
big
Green.
part. Like,
He- he's definitely influential, but when you say all time, that's
I'm putting him up there,
straight.
man.
But I'm not the judge, ladies and gentlemen. I need everybody in the chat once again to tell me who you think won this small debate. Let's go to work here. I need everybody. I already see in the judges panel so far for both rounds. Gene it has 10 points. He won this one as well. Bino coming in second with 5. Rhyan has 3. Trey has 4. And so we got a little fight going on here. The champ is standing strong once again, y'all. Let's go to work as we keep moving. For this, we have our third panel question tonight. Here it is. Listen, everybody. I need everybody to chat because you can get in this too as well. And before I do that again, let me ask y'all this question real quick. Are y'all sharing? I mean, are you pushing the like button? At least it ain't gonna cost you nothing. Just push that like button. Push the like. I need a rush on thumbs up, hearts, whatever y'all gonna do. Just push it right now. If you've done it before, do it again. Help these guys out. They bringing fire tonight. Watch this one. You think that was fire? Watch this topic. All in their prime, gentlemen, and chat room. Who are you taking? All in their prime. Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, or Ja Morant? Again, who you taking in their prime? Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, or Ja Morant? Rhyan, let's go to work, Doc.
Oh, I get to go first again? I bet.
Yeah, come
Okay.
on in. You behind. You got to do something.
So I get to pick out of those 3, right? That's who I'm taking, correct?
In their prime. Yes, sir. 1.
Okay. I'm going Derrick Rose. I don't think it's even a debate. Derrick Rose, not injured and fully healthy. I think he brings more championships back to Chicago. When growing up, even right now, if Derrick Rose steps on the court, he gets a standing ovation. Like, people just realize the greatness when he was on the court. If he wasn't injured, I mean, I don't know how many leg injuries he had, at least 3, maybe 4. And then he went over to New York, and it just kind of seemed like it's sad to see something so great go. Russell Westbrook, I don't put him up there just because I just don't think he's all around as great as Derrick Rose could be. But Derrick Rose for sure. That's my case.
All right. Let's go, Trey. Where we
I
at?
also have Derrick Rose first. Derrick Rose is my favorite player of all time. I believed when I was a kid that he would be the greatest player of all time because he was my favorite. I remember watching Derrick Rose when he came to the league in my buddy's house. He just had cable TV. One of the little Bulls games was on. And I was like, man, I looked at him and I was like, it didn't look real. It looked like a video game, how fast he was and the things he was doing. He's my favorite player. I got him number 1. Like Ryan said, I think he would have brought at least 1 championship back to Chicago or won 1 in his career. I got Russell Westbrook at the 2. That's Mr. Triple-Double, another MVP. And I got Ja coming in 3rd. I think he's got years to prove his prime to be better if that's going to be the case, but it's not right now.
Wow. Come here, Jane. Let's go to work.
All right, so I'm about to say some blasphemous shit, and that's okay. First of all, Ja Morant doesn't belong on this list. It's definitely between Russell Westbrook and Derrick Rose.
I think I can agree with that.
Russell Westbrook is I'm not a Russell Westbrook fan. Never been a Russell Westbrook fan. But if you're telling me prime, like 2016 Russ, 31, 11, and 11 Russ. That Russ, yeah, he's 100% starting. He's 100% the one you pick here. Derrick Rose shouldn't even have won the MVP. The MVP. Like, it was, once again, we didn't want to give LeBron 5 straight MVPs. Like, Derrick Rose shouldn't have won MVP that year. Look, prime D Rose went against LeBron James in an Eastern Conference Finals. In the fourth quarter of those games, LeBron James stuck Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose's points in the fourth quarter were 4, 2, 0, 2, and 2. I just need you to hear that. Russell Westbrook was the first player since Oscar Robertson to average a triple-double in a season. He shot 85% from the free throw line. Don't look at Russ now. Russ now forgot how to shoot. Russ used to be a 35% three-point shooter, 85% free throw shooter, and he averaged 31, 11, and 11. No doubt about it, MVP that year. There's no questions. It's Russell Westbrook, guys. I'm sorry. I don't even need to take that much time to explain it. Derrick Rose is the lovable guy. He's the likable guy. We all like Derrick Rose. We don't feel bad for him, but don't let it twist it. Russell Westbrook's the better player.
Wow. Bino, close us out, brother. What's up? Who you got?
Yeah, I'm all in on Russell Westbrook as well. I mean, like you said, don't look at Westbrook now because like he definitely forgot how to shoot the ball. But prime Westbrook, when he was carrying the Thunder by himself, he had a crazy mid-range shot. You couldn't stop that pull-up. He's so athletic. His ability to just get other people involved, grab the rebound, take off down the court faster than you can get back on defense, averaging a triple-double in 3 consecutive seasons. He literally set the record for the most usage rate in a single season of all time. Like, it's clear that Westbrook was definitely the better player, and I don't believe Ja Morant has had a season yet to where he can even compete with Ja Morant or Derrick Rose and Westbrook. And Derrick Rose, I'm sorry, but his MVP season, he shouldn't have even won the MVP. And Ja Morant literally had a season that was his best season was pretty much better than Derrick Rose's MVP year. So I'm going Westbrook here.
Wow. Any rebuttals? I think that when you look at this chat here, I think that the reason why you got these three is because they pretty much all got the same type of game. What you used to call, I guess, reckless. They were really in control, and I guess it's rather who's the most control out the bunch. To be honest with you, who I think it was Jane that said, and Bino came back with it. Ja, in truth, even though he's a real good player, he shouldn't even be on this list because he ain't done enough yet to be on this list.
Yep.
His accolades don't even match these guys, even his first 2 or 3 years. But Ja's a bad boy. I think everybody knows that. If the question probably would have been who's the greatest ESPN highlight, then Ja might be your
the
guy.
best missed dunks of all time.
Yeah, he might be the guy. But as far as in the prime, that he shouldn't even be on this list. I got one
small rebuttal. You asked about rebuttals. I got one small rebuttal. Derrick Rose's MVP season, he averaged 25, 8, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook had 5 seasons better than that. I'm not trying to. Yeah. I like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is more likable. I'd rather have Derrick Rose on my team. But Russell Westbrook's a lot better player. Prime, I'll take Russ.
You said the prime as if they weren't injured, but if you look at their prime and you compare the teams in their prime, I think if they both were in their prime and stayed healthy, Derrick Rose definitely got more rings than Russell still has.
And if the queen had balls, she'd be the king.
I like the Derrick Rose Russell Westbrook argument because when Derrick Rose won his MVP, they won 60+ games. Derrick Rose is far more clutch than Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook in his prime was a fold. He let Damian Lillard get in his head, and it was over from then. KD was always the guy. Yeah, LeBron did stick Derrick Rose and shut him down, but he also did that to Tony Parker and every other historical guard that didn't have a forward that was a threat. LeBron had to guard Kevin Durant. and every time they played, he had not Dame. He had D Wade on him every time. That's a smaller body. LeBron James is gonna clamp any point guard in his prime, like he was when he was going against Derrick Rose. That's why I said one of the last episodes, LeBron's been robbed of Defensive Player of the Year awards, because there's been times he was the best defensive player in the year. Of course, he locked down Derrick Rose.
Definitely was guarding KD in the finals.
In the finals alone, only in the finals, because he had LeBron James on him.
I do think it's interesting that you're taking a stance against Russell Westbrook after you, Trey. I do think it's interesting you're taking a stance against Russell Westbrook after the last show. You told me how all these players had career years playing with Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, they did.
I just don't know which side of the fence you want to be on this.
He makes his players better. He's the best the best Robin in the league. Like I said last week,
why is he not better than Derrick Rose?
Because Derrick Rose will lead the team. He is the Batman. He led them to 62 wins and has slugged it out with LeBron James.
Derrick Rose had a good team.
And the East was awful. The only other good team in the East that year was the Miami Heat.
They didn't play games in the West at all. He won 62 games.
Not many.
He lost 20 games. Russell Westbrook won his MVP and was like the 8th seed, was he not?
No. Look it up.
6
maybe 60, maybe 5, maybe 4 wasn't the 8. He also had a triple-double at 31, 11, and 11.
He also had nobody. You can watch the film. Russell Westbrook's triple-doubles were great and all, but they were literally feeding him rebounds there. He had Steven Adams on the team. Steven Adams could go out there and get 17 rebounds a night on that team, but Russell Westbrook would go down there and Steven Adams would let him have some. There was clips of this Russell Westbrook running down in the paint, Steven Adams letting the rebound go.
The season I'm talking about is the season with KD. It was the last season with him with KD, the 31, 11, 11. So he did have someone there.
KD was injured that season.
KD played in the playoffs. They lost a 3-1 lead.
He ends at the regular season.
Look, I appreciate the rebuttal. I'm telling you right now, Russell Westbrook has 5 seasons better than Derrick Rose's best.
Well, I would
Derrick Rose would have a bunch of seasons better than Russell Westbrook if he didn't get injured.
Would have, could have, should have, didn't.
Wow.
He said prime.
It's starting to get a little tense in here, if you understand what I'm saying. It's getting a little tense in here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind, and those of you in the chat, tell me who you think won that. My judges have already put their vote in. Gene again on top, winning that one. Trey comes in second. Bino third, and Ryan fourth. So far, the totals is Gene with 15. Bino and Trey tied with 7. And Ryan with 4. Remember, we have a bonus round at the end. The top 2 go. So as of right now, Bino and Trey, Ryan, you got a chance to make your move, Doc. It ain't too far away. You still can get in here. But Gene is leading comfortably. Bino and Trey, y'all tied with 7. We move on now to our 4th topic of the night. I think it's fit to get crazy again, y'all. We got some home run topics. But before I go to that, I got one question. Y'all sharing? Are y'all liking the page? I mean, what's going on here? Push the like button. Push the like button. If you've done it before, let's go just do it again. Let's go off. I saw a comment earlier. I saw Jory in here. Jory, let me say this, and y'all give me my moment here. Jory is saying y'all cooking, and they are cooking. But Jory, I'm cooking. Let's move on to 4. Let's go on to 4 real quick. Let's get that understood. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our 4th topic. Start, bench, and cut, y'all. Watch this. Woo-wee. Start, bench, and cut. Lamar Jackson, Michael Vick, or Cam Newton. Again, start, bench, and cut.
Can I ask a quick question?
Mike Vick or Cam Newton? Ryan,
can I ask a quick question?
Ryan, I know I done started. I'm trying to make sure you get first impression since you behind.
I just had to ask a question. Big time. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Are we asking at the peak of their career, their prime, or their lifetime achievement award?
All right, let me change it up then, since I got.
And I'll be generous. I'll let somebody else go first. I don't want to take.
No, you gotta go.
I'm gonna go ahead and change. I'm the host. I get to do what I want to do.
Hey.
Let's go with at their prime. So I guess let's just say their best year, whatever.
Okay.
Let's go at their prime. Ryan, you gave up the floor.
Yeah.
Come here, Trey. What you got, man?
Man, I seen this somewhere on Twitter. We posted something about it. I've been mulling this question. I'll probably not stick with the same thing that I even retweeted on Twitter because it's a hard one. I believe I'm gonna stay strong on my number one though and go Cam Newton, a Super Bowl MVP. I believe 15-win season. I believe put his body on the line. Not like the other guys on this list who I feel are more elusive. Not saying they wouldn't put their bodies out there, but Cam Newton would run through you. He started a 1 yard gain as a good gain like Jalen Hurts does now. Cam Newton would just jump 6 feet in front of him and get a couple yards because that's about how big he could reach. Like I said, he had a great team, but he went to the Super Bowl. He won an MVP. He was super Cam for a whole season and more. I got him at number one for sure. I mold this one because I try not to let the Mike Vick hype buy into it or the Lamar discretion that I have. This time, I'm going to go Lamar in MVP. Of course, he won his MVP with a record I don't believe that would have swayed in as much as I would have had. I got Lamar, though, just strictly because of the rushing ability that he performed that season. He really put the Ravens on his back just that season alone on the offensive side of the ball. They're always a top 5 rushing team, and he's always a top 1, 2, 3 rusher on the team. Mike Vick's great. I think his arm was a cannon. I just don't think his stats showed it. I wish he would have had a 3,000-4,000 yard throwing season.
Wow. Champ, what say you, Champ?
This is really tough. So, and Dylan is already getting in the chat. I'm cutting Mike Vick. So, yes, we're going to make that very simple. You want to talk about a guy that had all the talent in the world but didn't prepare? What was Mike Vick's best season? Let's go through it, right? What season was his best? Yes, we all watched the highlights. That we all love the 54-yard walk-off touchdown that he had versus Minnesota where the two defenders are running into each other. But the guy didn't prepare, and he got absolutely slammed by Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game. I can't go Mike Vick here. I'm cutting him at his prime. It goes between Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson, right? And I look at Cam's MVP season. He was 15-1. He went to the Super Bowl. He was incredible. It's tough, and I still haven't really made my decision, but I guess I'm going to bench Cam Newton here, and I'll tell you why. You said Cam Newton threw his body on the line, and what I watched in that Super Bowl when that ball was laying on the ground and he refused to dive on that ball was a lack of heart. I actually felt like the Broncos defense beat that out of him. What Lamar Jackson looked like his MVP season was a cheat code that no one figured out, right? Like we've all played Madden before and we have those plays that work and you can't beat them. Well, a lot of people don't realize this. Lamar had an 86 QBR this season. He won an MVP. He was throwing the ball all over the yard still. He still had over 3,000 yards passing. We talk about just the rushing yards. Yeah, he broke the rushing record. He had over 4,400 all-purpose yards, 36 touchdowns, which was more than Cam, 6 interceptions, which was less than Cam. I got to go Lamar here. I really do. And listen, I'm not a huge Lamar guy. It's between Lamar and Cam for me, but I think that Lamar, and granted, he really fell behind in that playoff game, and we've seen what ended up happening when you put Lamar Jackson behind the 8 ball, but he fought back that entire game. I was one of those people that thought he was going to come back from 14 down to Tennessee. I was one of those. Lamar Jackson, I'm starting, but I could be swayed. If I lose this one, I'm okay with it because between Lamar and Cam, I can see an argument. I cannot see one for Mike Vick, though.
Wow. All right. Come here, Bino. What you got, man?
First off, I gotta cut Lamar. I feel like Lamar was Vick, or trying to be Vick, pretty much, in my opinion. I mean, he can't throw the ball. Vick obviously could throw the ball down the field. He had an arm on him, and Vick was definitely the better runner, in my opinion. He was smarter. He got out of bounds. He doesn't take these hits. But the best here, I got to start. I'm a bench Vic, but I'm gonna start Cam Newton because I've seen it firsthand in Charlotte. I've seen it so many times. the size of this man compared to Vic and compared to Lamar, this dude was a giant, and he ran over these linebackers. He wasn't afraid to take a hit. I mean, that's probably why his shoulder got messed up, but we ain't gonna talk about it. But his ability to just run the ball over these linebackers, and he could throw the ball. And like you said, Gene, he wasn't like the most accurate quarterback. He did throw the ball everywhere. But that MVP season, what he did to our city here in Charlotte, what he did to the city, it blew up, man. Like, we ain't never seen anything like that happen. Just like he literally took over like the whole city. Everybody was doing the dab around here, super cam, everything. Like, this man was definitely by far the better quarterback in his prime. He changed the game for a lot of these quarterbacks that was running the ball, and he set so many records. His rookie year was obviously one of the best rookie years we've seen out of a quarterback. So I'm definitely going Cam Newton here for sure.
Wow.
Starting.
Ryan, I'm with you,
bench,
brother.
Vic.
You benching Vic. Ryan, I'm with you. I need you to go on crank this thing up right here. Come on, let's go to work, Ryan.
So first
I'm
off,
with you, let's go.
I'm not even going to give my rebuttal yet, obviously, because it's not time for it. But Bino will be coming for you after that. First, I'm cutting Vic. I don't even think he begins to have the same conversation between Cam and Lamar Jackson. Just for the simple fact of success, overall around play. Cam Newton, I'm benching. The difference between Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson, the reason I'm benching is because if you give, Lamar the ball, I'm just going to put a scenario in head and say it's 4th and 6. Yes, Cam Newton is taller, but he's easier to tackle. Lamar in the open field, he's so agile, so quick. You could put two guys, and I'm still taking my chances over getting Lamar getting the first down than I am Cam Newton. He's a bigger target. He's easier to hit. Yes, is he bigger? Could he potentially truck? Yeah, but I'm taking my chances with Lamar and open the field, and that's simply why I'm going to start him. Are we good to go ahead and rebuttal here?
Yeah, let's open up for rebuttals. Let's go to work. Go on, get Bino, man.
Bino,
go
do you know Michael Vick's QBR in his best season?
Uh-oh.
Best season?
Yeah, in his best season. Do you know?
Not off the top of my head, no.
I do.
Go ahead, Gene.
65.
Yeah, okay. You want to know Lamar's best?
83.
That's incorrect.
It's not.
Well, I don't know where you're pulling yours from, but you mean his whole his average.
I mean, shit. How hard is it to throw the ball fucking 5 yards to a receiver, cutting across the fucking middle?
I'm glad you said that. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, Lamar's QBR on passes over 50 yards. 63.4, over 50%. You know what it is before 50 yards?
But how many has he thrown, bro? Like fucking 3 in his career?
All right, so Bino, let me go over something with you real quick. You said Mike Vick threw the ball better than Lamar. That's the one comment I stood out.
I said he could throw further. That's what I said.
Throw further? So Mike Vick's best season, most people would agree, would be 2004. He had 14 touchdowns, 12. Okay, I can go over 2002 if you want. He was 8-6 in 2002 with 16 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and he threw for 2,900 yards. That's his best season. You want to go 04? 2,300 yards, 14 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. His best season statistically was in Philadelphia when he came in as a backup quarterback. He threw for 3,300 yards. I can't see Mike. Look, you want to make an argument for Cam? I get that. Your argument for Cam's popular. There's a lot of people that are from North Carolina in the chat. I get it. That's okay. Yep. Where I run into an issue is you cutting Lamar Jackson over Mike Vick just because you just said he could throw the ball further. I can't deal with that. I can't.
Lamar Jackson won an MVP.
Yeah.
He broke Mike Vick's record for rushing. He threw the ball better that season than Mike Vick did most of his career.
Has he won a playoff game?
Mike Vick didn't win many with the team he had.
Lamar did win a playoff game. Where?
Not that year, though.
No, but he won a game.
Yeah. But Mike Vick underperformed with the team he had. A lot.
I have no problem if you start Cam Newton or Lamar Jackson. I have a problem when you're going to tell me because Michael Vick threw the ball further that he's a better thrower of the football. Look, I don't think any of them are good at throwing the football. He did.
changed the game
It's
to
not
run
an influence
quarterback.
award, though. We're starting, benching, cutting. And if you're right as far as influence, Mike Vick would be number one. I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's not an influence award, though. He wasn't that good of a passer. He will tell you that he didn't prepare. He's like, I felt terrible. He apologized to Dan Reeves when he got out of jail. He goes, I didn't prepare. I'm apologizing for the way I handled myself. Look, you want to start Cam and the dab? I get it, man. I was back and forth there. You cannot have Mike Vick is almost like John Morant to this list. I'm sorry. It's just the truth.
Mike Vick just needs more accolades, more something to be on the list. Like I said, he's not an MVP. The other two are. He wasn't necessarily the greatest winning quarterback either. He underperformed, in my opinion. I had somebody ask me this the other day why I cut Michael Vick, and it was because he's not as good as Lamar. As simply that, and I don't think there's much on it. Lamar had less help in his MVP season than a lot of Mike Vick's career. He had great receivers. He had great talent, good defenses in Atlanta. And my thing with Cam Newton, I just think his MVP season was better than Lamar Jackson's with the 15 wins, the Super Bowl. He had more touchdowns overall. The league, yeah, Lamar had him in yards by probably a million miles.
Cam has these dudes beat by a mile. I'm not going to argue that. Like
Lamar had more touchdowns than Cam in MVP year, 36 to 35. Just saying.
Yeah, and Cam had 3 more rushing touchdowns.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you this was going to get a little heated right here. And on this one here, you guys go ahead and in the chat, tell me who you think you won. My judges have already judged this. Bino, you stood strong. You let the star shine, baby. You
How did you judge it before we're done debating?
Talk to me when Lamar Jackson can actually finish a freaking season, please.
Wow.
I'm not.
He has a couple. He has a couple.
Bino ready right now.
I like
he
it.
won this round with 5.
Yeah, no, I do respect it.
With 3.
If you coming at Lamar, man, I need all the. I need 10 goes down.
I know you're a fan. You're a fan, and if somebody came after my team, I'm gonna be the same way, bro. It's just part of being a fan of the team. That's why it's hard to debate that because you're gonna defend this guy until you die. I promise you, you're gonna defend.
See, Ryan, you stoke a fire in my boy, man. You came after him, and he was just as cool, and then you came after him, and he let some of that fire go.
Hey, I told you I was going for it.
I mean,
I love it. I love it. Congrats on the win.
Round. So right now, Bino has jumped into second place with 12. Gene, of course, is leading with 18. Trey is at 9. Ryan's at 5. We are now coming down. But before I move to the next topic, I want to give a shout out to one of our people that's in the chat right now. Let me tell you something. We need to do a little award, the commenter of the podcast tonight. It is Isla. If I mispronounced her name, listen, she is only 9 years old, and she come in more than some of y'all. I don't know what y'all problem is. She giving out likes, she giving out fire emojis. She's enjoying this. She is being entertained, and she's saying something about it. I need some of y'all to do the same exact thing. This is your time to hit that like button. We're getting close to the end, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go with our 5th one, and this is personal for me, and I'm going to have to get that tape that Gene had, and let me go ahead and just put it over my mouth after I read it. I'm just going to get out of the way. Be careful what y'all say here now. Now, I'm the host, but trust me, I can switch out of one of these boxes, one of these Brady Bunch boxes, and switch and be a debater on this one myself now. Watch this question here. Oh, my goodness. If you were the GM of the next 5 years, would you rather be the GM of the Philadelphia Eagles or the Dallas Cowboys?
This is so easy.
If you were the GM for the next 5 years, who would you rather be? The GM of the Philadelphia Eagles or the Cowboys? Now, I'm going to switch this around real quick because I got to hear what these two up top going to have to say because I know where they stand. Gene is a Philadelphia Eagle fan. Bino, of course, is a Dallas Cowboy fan. I am a Cowboy fan, but I'm out of this tonight. I wish I could talk. Trey, Philly, or Dallas?
You said Philadelphia Eagles or the Dallas Cowboys.
GM for the next 5 years.
I don't think I heard
How
the
long
question
how long
correctly.
is Hurts inked for? I'm taking Philly. I have my franchise quarterback for the next X years. As long as he stays happy, he's on my team. We'll give him any number. Our defense took a hit, and it is still a top-tier defense. Dak Prescott's 1 year away from the Dallas Cowboys not knowing who their quarterback is. They have young talent, but to replace Dak, they would have to rebuild. They would have to have a whole losing season to get a draft pick good enough to get a good quarterback, or they would have to make some serious moves to that good young team they have on defense to get a quarterback and sacrifice draft picks. Philly has a great man at the head right now, so if I took over for him, I'd probably have the next 5 years already planned out.
Lord have mercy. I wish I can get into this one. Come on, Ryan, what you got?
And I had to make sure I heard the question correctly.
I thought he said Sixers.
I was just so dumbfounded in the question. Now, big time. You're probably gonna feel some type of way about this, but bear with me here. You're the moderator today, so don't come at me too strong. Jerry Jones. If Jerry Jones is the acting, the GM, the owner, so forth, I don't want no part of it. I don't want no part of it. First reason, they keep quarterbacks too long. In my opinion, first off, and you pay your running backs too much and you see what they give you. Granted, I think Pollard's going to be a dog. They should have gave him a contract, but I want to get a round of applause here for Howie Roseman. As much as I don't say I hate the Eagles, I like to give my brothers a hard time. You know what I'm saying? He's a diehard Philly fan. But man, like he some way finds a way to get it all done. Like with all their draft picks, always stole A.J. Brown from the Titans. I mean, stole highway robbery, stole him. Their running backs, their offensive line, their defense positions. I mean, I feel like they drafted everybody from Georgia. They might as well call them the Philadelphia, Georgia, get a combine there. I think Howie Roseman deserves an Oscar for all of his performances, for all of his additions he adds. And I know there's a lot of Philadelphia fans, and, we got big time Cowboys fan, but the Cowboys always seem to miss it, man. It's not the 90s anymore, you know what I'm saying? Their best coach right now, they need to pull Tony Romo out the booth and have him for the offensive play caller or head coach, because he's calling the plays before they come, but he couldn't read a defense to save his life and actually execute. So for that reason, I'm picking the Eagles.
Lord have mercy. Okay, Jane, go, because I gotta let Bino close this one.
This is laughable. It's actually laughable. I'm gonna be kind of honest with you. I contemplated saying the Cowboys because I don't think I can do a better job than what Howie Roseman's doing right now, and I don't want to step in, right? So we have the younger, more athletic defense. We have the better cap situation. We have a quarterback locked up for 5 years. We have a young wide receiver that's on a rookie contract still in Devontae Smith. Let's stop for 1 minute, right? Zach Martin's complaining that he's not getting paid. CeeDee Lamb needs to get paid. Trevon Diggs needs to get paid. You have $12 million of Ezekiel Elliott dead cap money over the next 2 years. What? Are we serious right now? You have to pay Dak Prescott in a year and a half. Like, this can't be real. This is not a real question. Maybe I should pick Dallas just so I could say Howie's doing a good enough job, and I'll screw up the Cowboys organization so I could watch my Eagles win and be like the Indians GM from Major League and just try to screw the team up, because I can't do a better job than what Howie's doing. This is a laughable question. It's an easy answer. It's the Eagles by a mile, and they build their team in the trenches. Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Landon Dickerson, all young talent on rookie contracts that have the ability to be Pro Bowlers. Landon Dickerson was the #1 graded left guard in football last year, and he's in the second year of a rookie contract. It's Philadelphia, and it's not even close.
Oh, man.
Just Bino. Bino. Oh, Bino. Sir. Okay, just hold up, Bino. Before I let you out the cage, just hold up a second.
I don't want to, man.
Yeah, man.
I want to take my ball.
Be honest, if it was me, bro, I'm gonna be the
Bino. Look, I need you to represent right here, okay? I wish I could do it.
Anything to get Jerry Jones out of the freaking organization, I'm taking the job, man. Put me on the Cowboys. As long as Jerry Jones is out of there.
Come on out the cage, Bino. Go to work.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It sucks saying this, but Philly's roster is insane compared to ours. What we got going on in Dallas, man. Like, we overpaid Dak, first of all. We paid Zeke. Now we got this man's salary cap hit coming in the next season. He ain't even gonna be on our roster, man. You know, we got all these problems. We got to pay Pollard next year. If we even pay him, he's probably gonna walk. But then we got to pay Diggs. We got to pay Parsons. We got to pay CD. Like, obviously, it's clear that Philly is the better choice here just because based on what they got with the picks. They got the talent on the defense. They got all these young superstars from Georgia, the Philadelphia Bulldogs. We got Nakobe Dean, all these guys on the defense. I mean, obviously, it's clear that you take the Eagles here. But if I'm Dallas, I could turn things around. I promise you. I'm gonna restructure Dak's contract. We gonna restructure that. I promise you. You're gonna have to prove to me that you can win more than one playoff game before you can get paid that money. So, first of all, let me start there, and then when it comes to paying Diggs and Michael Parsons, we got to pay Michael Parsons. He's obviously the best defensive player in the league. He's generational talent. Like, we ain't never gonna see nobody on our defense like this again for the next 10 years. So we got to pay this man. But we're in some trouble right now. We're gonna have to let some people go. We're gonna have to do something. We in some trouble. So
that's my rebuttal. We in some trouble. I love it.
Yeah, big time. We in some trouble. And I'm a fan. And I love my Cowboys, man. I stand on my Cowboys. I've been a fan since I was a kid, and I've been through all the hard times. But
I think
we in some trouble right now.
You know, you ain't got to give you don't have to give your Cowboy resume.
Big time. Dylan put this question on there just to get you to rub your head. He told me earlier. He goes, I'm putting this question on there just to get big time to rub his head because he's so frustrated.
Look, I seen a comment. Somebody said big time looks stressed, and if you would choose the Cowboys over the Philadelphia Eagles, you would be stressed a whole lot more. They've already started to fall apart in the win now mode, and they've got young players on the team. They might not have a whole young roster. Dak's in the earlier mid part of his career. You could say it's not the late part. They've got young CD. They've already lost guys like Randy Gregory to the Broncos. They lost Amari Cooper because they couldn't pay him. They're just going to keep running into that problem of we can't pay him. Ezekiel Elliott was chosen over Amari Cooper to get paid, and then he didn't pan out, so he got lost. I had an argument with my good buddy about that when it happened. I said Ezekiel Elliott is going. He was making fun of me because I said Amari Cooper is talented, and that he said that's why they cut him because Zeke was better. I said no, Zeke just got paid. And they know now that they mispaid someone and they have to let someone walk because that's going to keep happening. They had to sign Brandon Cooks as wide receiver 2 just to keep him afloat because they're in win now. They had to sign veteran Stephon Gilmore because they're in win now.
And to add to what you said, Trey, and I'm not trying to go too deep off this with the Cowboys situation, but you do realize they paid Jalen Smith all that money and then cut him a year later. The Cowboys are the king of the dead cap. I'm like, they pay these guys money.
Our whole cap situation is so messed up because of.
I'm glad you
paid. We have cut. We have paid.
You know what the best word to tell Dak Prescott is every offseason? Restructure. Because you got to constantly restructure that contract.
We got to restructure this contract. But I know one thing: he still beats the Eagles every year.
Whoever takes over for Jerry Jones.
This is why I contemplated even coming on the show.
Hold on. So whoever inherits the team, you know what I'm saying, if Jerry Jones doesn't sell it and he gets it, they're going to inherit dead cap space. First off, big time, I was watching your show, and I'm pretty sure I agree with the comment you made. Diggs is the next person not to get paid, and he's going to be gone. I believe that was a comment on there. So, and Bino, to make a point that you were making that over the next 5 years, listen, if you just don't do well enough, you can acquire enough picks maybe to, get a better team in the next 5 years. So that might be the better option for you at that point.
Yeah.
Destroy and rebuild. I'm here for it.
I'm glad you said that about
it's hard to be worse than the Giants and the
I thought he was going to say the Eagles.
Let me jump in.
The Eagles on fire now. I'm not going to argue about the Eagles right now.
There was no need for a rebuttal because all four of y'all said the same goddamn thing, and I'm having I get that, and I'm not even about to jump into the seat. Bino, I'm a little stressed about your statement there, but I get it. But I got a little problem with it. But I'm not the one debating tonight. I'm just the host. So what we got is they said Gene won this one as well. Bino, you came in second. If I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to pull it up real quick.
Hey, Rhyan. Bino was scared. Bino came in second on a couple others, but not that one.
Can we have a talk with some of these judges? There's no way I have those 5 points. No way. Hold on.
Jane is leading with 23. Bino is second with 13. Trey is with 12. Ryan's at 7. So it's looking like automatically that this next topic is going to determine who's going to face Gene in the bonus round. So let's go ahead and get out the Cowboys before y'all irritate me. Let me get on to the next one real quick. Here's the last topic of the night before the bonus round. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and push the like button again. Listen to the chat. Chat, I need to see you go and work with the guys on this one. Here it is. Would you rather build your NBA team right now around AI or Steph Curry? Ready, go.
I have a quick
Who's
question.
going?
Steph Curry.
He said right now. If we're taking right now, I'm taking Steph Curry because AI has been out the league for 20 years.
Well, no, I mean, if they're both in their prime right now, would you build it around Steph Curry? The answer is Steph Curry, though. And I'm a 76ers fan. Are we really talking about this? The guy stretches the floor. Did you have an order big time, or am I like anybody going?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious.
I saw Ryan.
My fault.
I saw Ryan.
No, I'll go first. I had the question first, but
the bonus round is the best NBA team ever.
Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
Well, now I'm confused.
No, go ahead. We're not in the bonus round. Who would you rather start out with, AI or Steph Curry?
Steph Curry, not a question. And I got 4 reasons why. 4 rings right here. Steph Curry's a shooter. He can get it all done, man. He pulls up for almost half court every time. I mean, AI is, great, but Steph Curry can work as a team. He can build around him. He makes other people better. I'm taking Steph Curry. No question.
All right. Let's go ahead and move real quick. Bino, let's go.
Steph Curry. Steph Curry. Without a doubt, Steph Curry. I mean, he's the greatest shooter we've ever seen. You can't even give this man. You can put a hand in his face. He's still cashing in your face. Literally, Jeff Teague said it on the podcast the other day. He said, Coach told me they went to China. He said, I played the best defense I ever played. I played as hard as I could. I was playing in front of 100,000 people. He said, I'm not going to get my ass busted out here. What he do? He got his ass busted for 44 points on his head by Stephen Curry. You can't guard this man. He's going to run around the screens. He's going to do all this. He can dribble. He can shoot off the dribble. He can shoot from anywhere on the court. Clearly, Steph Curry. Easy. I'm taking Curry.
Trey.
I also got Stephen Curry. He leads them in a lot of categories. He was on 4 all NBA first teams. He has 4 championships. AI made the 1. It was a great run. Like everybody else is saying, he brings something to the team that no one else does. AI, you kind of have to pick a build around him. You can put anyone on a team with Steph Curry. You can have anybody set a screen as long as they're hard body. You can have anyone passing the ball. He doesn't need too much to get him going. Just get him open. He doesn't even need to be that open. You can have anybody out there setting a couple off-ball screens. Steph Curry gets himself open off the ball, with the ball. He's a good penetrator. That's a underlooked part of his game is his penetration. He's not necessarily a dunker. He's not a highlight reel, but Steph Curry finishes efficiently at the rim when he gets there. He finds a way to get it done. He's a decent facilitator. Neither of them were great on defense. Steph Curry gets in the pass lanes. He's a little bit bigger. I'm taking Steph Curry to start my team today, yesterday, and in AI's prime.
All right. First of all, I get to go now. And you just the last comment you said pissed me off as a 76ers fan. Allen Iverson was a much better defender in the passing lanes than Steph Curry. I don't care how tall they were. Now, the answer is Steph Curry, but I'm a little pissed off at whoever made these questions up to make me argue against my own damn team and Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson had so much heart. So let me give that man some respect. But Steph Curry shows up for practice, All his teammates love him. They play for him. It's not just the fact that he stretches the court better than anyone. You have to defend him 84 feet. It's not even close. I love Allen Iverson. His heart and soul is incredible. Allen Iverson didn't make his teammates better. Steph Curry did. Allen Iverson didn't stretch the floor. Steph Curry did. Steph Curry, what he brings to an offense is just unguardable. And you have to guard him at the friggin' half court. You have to guard him across half court. Allen Iverson wasn't a great three-point shooter. Call it like it is. He would get to the rack. He would take a beating. He would shoot free throws. But anything Allen Iverson did, Steph did better outside of jumping the damn passing lanes, Trey. Watch some 76ers basketball in 2000. Stop making me argue.
AI was a ripper. I'm going to rip you. You're not dribbling around.
Oh, AI was a jumper. AI jumped lanes. You didn't watch enough of him, bro. AI jumped lanes more than anybody. He gambled too much, which is why he was a poor defender, because he constantly would gamble to try to jump lanes. AI would jump lanes. He would off-ball double team, and he would jump lanes. That's what AI did. But the answer is clearly Steph Curry, guys.
Wow. No, I don't think everybody has the same answer. Pretty much everybody has the same thing as far as that. I don't think the rebuttals are even necessary for this. I believe that unless somebody want to go at somebody, you got the last couple times here. Anybody want to go at anybody?
Can I go with Dylan?
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with Dylan for making this damn question to make me argue against the greatest 76er of all time. I hate you, but I got to be honest.
Yeah, that was not fair, man.
I got a rebuttal for some of the judges here, man. I don't know. They must be, I'm having a great time tonight judging.
Steph Curry all around the better.
Oh, I think one of them's got your same last name.
Yeah,
leave.
and never mind. I can't even.
I was worried about his objectivity.
Well, Dean, I don't think you should be worried about too much over there, buddy.
Wow. Based off some of the questions that I've seen tonight, and then when I look at this guy right here, and he's involved, I'm starting to wonder, did he write some of these questions?
Oh, he did, 100%.
Some of them are blasphemous, but anyway, we'll go with that. Listen, I got the final totals. We're getting ready to go to the bonus round. Gene, of course, is in first. He'll make the bonus round. My man Bino came in second tonight with 15 points. Gene had 28. Bino with 15. My guys are here. Trey came in third with 13, and Ryan came in with 10. Trey, Ryan, step your game up next week. Let's get up here. I don't want. Look, I'm tired of Gene. Look, I'm tired of him. Somebody got to take him out.
I'm like Roman Reigns, bro.
I'm starting to believe it. I'm believing. But my man Bino stepped out. Trey, Ryan, I appreciate you on for the night. Tell everybody before you leave where they can find you.
Y'all can find us at the Guys Huddle. Here we got technically 4 weekly shows with this one. We got one Monday, one Wednesday, and then we got one on Sunday. Shout out to the guys on Sunday. They put together a great wrestling show. If y'all want any of your wrestling content, make sure you go check them out, and then check us out the rest of the weekdays. Also, make sure y'all check out Wire to Wire and Big Time Show, man. I'm telling you, if y'all want to hear Gene rip some more people apart, I seen rip Freddie apart earlier today, and it was just great. I loved it. I had to put my cap hat on that for Freddie. Big Time. I'll be seeing you soon, man. Y'all have a good one.
Appreciate you, Trey. Tell everybody where they can find
same squad, man. The Guys Huddle Facebook page, man. Shout out to the Empire Sports. Shout out to Wire. Everybody a part of that, man. They got like I say every time, a great organization going on, great shows, great content. My favorite thing to do is catch them live on a car ride, man, because I find myself swerving off the road on the content, man. They're a funny group, good facts, good guys.
Appreciate you, Trey. Thank you, man, for the night. We'll see you on the next show around, man. Appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come down to our final two for the evening. The champ, once again, getting ready to try to defend his title, and we got a new opponent on tonight, and Bino coming in to go against him. And we're going to go ahead and go straight to it. Before we do that, I hope everybody's enjoyed the show tonight. These guys battled out, including Trey and Ryan. This was a great night, another great show. And we appreciate you, and we're going to close it out with these two gentlemen here who have kicked butt tonight. And so we're going to see who's going to come out last. And we're going to do it real quick, gentlemen. I don't know if it's easy or not, but let's go ahead and go to work. Here is the bonus question for the night. Who is the best NBA team of all time? Bino, you the contender. You got to go ahead and get strong right here, man. Let's go to work. Who is the best NBA team of all time?
I'm going to have to go with the 2016-2017 Golden State Warriors. Obviously, they had the best record. They only lost – first of all, they only lost one playoff game, the entire playoffs. They only lost one game, and it was in the finals. And let's see, they were definitely they had three players that averaged over 22 points with Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant. You got the best shooter of all time on the team. You got arguably the best scorer we've ever seen in our lifetime with Kevin Durant. And then you can argue Klay Thompson's one of the best shooters ever as well. So when it comes to best teams, I'm definitely going to look towards the Golden State Warriors. You couldn't guard that team no matter who you took out in your game plan. If you went after Curry, you got KD, you got Klay. You also had Draymond Green that playing defense. He had almost averaged a triple-double with like 10 points, 8 rebounds, and pretty sure 9 assists, 8 assists, something like that. Obviously I didn't like the situation. I didn't like the way that KD went there because KD is one of my favorite players. I didn't like the situation, but overall it is what it is. And that team will beat any team in that we've ever seen. So that's who I'm going with.
Wow. Good answer, Bino. Jane, the champ. Let's go to work, sir.
All right. So this is a really tough one. And I get in this debate very often, right? And very often I'm arguing for the same team that Bino just said. But in the interest of having a fun debate, I'm going to argue the 95-96 Chicago Bulls. And I'm going to tell you why. There's an argument for both, right? And I respect your argument that you put up for the KD Warriors, the treasonous Warriors, the 67-15 Warriors. They're treasonous, but that's okay. Michael Jordan lost in the playoffs one time during that 7-year run, and it was the time he came back wearing the 45, and he got beat by the Shaquille O'Neal Orlando Magic. 95-96, that team was on a mission, and if you ever watched them, you would understand exactly what I'm talking about. That team was ridiculous. They were 37-0 at home. They had a 44-game winning streak at one point during the season. They were second in road wins with 33. They have the 72-10 record, and they won the championship. And they were 15-3 in the playoffs, and they only lost 2 games. They lost 2 games to the Seattle Supersonics. But the thing that really stands out to me is the team that beat them in the playoffs, like the year before, that Orlando Magic team, they swept them. They swept Prime Shaq. They swept Penny. They made Shaq run to the Western Conference. Michael Jeffrey Jordan is incredible, right? Greatest basketball player ever. But that season, it was like you turned his competitive edge up to another level, and you had to watch it to really understand it. What they did defensively, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, both first-team all-defense that year. Dennis Rodman, first-team all-defense. They had 3 of the top 5 players defensively in the league. They were 72-10, 44-game winning streak during the season. I can't argue against it. And if you tell me I'm going to watch soft KD versus Michael Jordan, I'm picking Jordan in 7. And Jordan never seen a game 7. Never. But if those two teams played against each other, I'm picking Jordan in 7. And I'm thinking that his defensive prowess and that team finds a way to shut down that team. I think they get physical with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and KD and really put them in a box. And if you really take those 3 that year, because that was the year you really had to look at just Steph, Klay, and KD. And you had Michael, Scottie, and Rodman. I can just imagine Dennis Rodman, how much he'd piss off that softy KD Trey, that soft pillow Kevin Durant. Every time Kevin Durant's faced adversity, he's ran from it. He ran from it in Golden State when Draymond Green got in his face. He ran from it in Brooklyn when Kyrie didn't want to show up. And he ran from it on the internet when he had burner accounts. So for that case, I can't take KD. I'm going with the 96 Chicago Bulls.
Bino, rebuttal time real
I like
quick.
that. I like that. I mean, like you said, I mean, it's kind of, like you kind of had to watch it to really see what was going on back in the day. And obviously, I wasn't old enough to really watch it back in the day. But I mean, I know what that team was. I know what they did and everything like that. But at the end of the day, okay, you're arguing Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Rodman. Okay, so they're gonna definitely beat down them Warriors. I'm not gonna lie, but they probably would. They would beat them down physically. But at the end of the day, you got three guys that can shoot the ball from anywhere. You had KD. KD averaged like 36 in the finals that year. Literally, like unguardable. I mean, he torched LeBron the whole entire series. He torched LeBron. And you got Curry that averaged like 27 in the finals. I mean, you can't stop that team. And at the end of the day, in today's game, that's why the game has changed so much. Everyone's trying to shoot threes. There's so many more 3-point field goals in today's game compared to back in the day. So this Warriors team would have shot the lights out against the Chicago Bulls. And you got guys like Draymond.
Bino, they wouldn't. So? No, because Michael Jordan was 6'6", Dennis Rodman was 6'7".
Michael Jordan.
Hold on, and Scottie Pippen was 6'8", and all three of those guys could move. And what I'm doing, if I'm coaching the Bulls and I'm Phil Jackson and I'm smart enough to do this, the 4 and 5 don't matter. They don't matter. There's nobody else. Draymond Green and we got Longley. It doesn't matter, right? So when you look at those teams, you're taking Michael Jordan, sticking Klay Thompson, Scottie Pippen, who is the best on-ball defender ever, sticking Steph Curry, and Dennis Rodman Dennis Rodman is the most agitative player you'll ever play against. You watch what Pat Beverly did to KD. You imagine what Dennis Rodman would have did to KD. He would have gotten his head. He would have got physical with him. And I watched that soft man in Kevin Durant. You know, we say Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. We always say that, right? Kevin Durant is a softie. He's a softie. And let's take it one step further. If I made millions of dollars and I was the MVP of basketball, I wouldn't have a friggin' burner account. I tells you how soft he is. Yeah. Dennis Rodman would have chewed him up and spit him out.
When it comes to the game itself, I just can't put my mind to it that's gonna happen, man. Like I understand your point. I get what you're saying, but I just don't see Steph Curry getting locked up by Scottie Pippen. You don't see a lot of people in today's game at all lock up Steph Curry. If Steph Curry is getting locked up, he's just having a bad shooting night. I play basketball. I know how it feels. You're not going to be hitting your shots every game. I mean, everybody's going to have an off game, but nobody has ever locked Steph up. Like he's literally just missing his shots. You can't guard this guy. He can shoot. He can shoot from anywhere on the court. He gets to his spot wherever he wants to shoot. He can shoot it from. We've seen him pull up from half court and hit game winners. We've seen him pull up from half court to hit buzzer beaters. We've seen all this. We know what Steph Curry can do. And in Kevin Durant, I mean, you're calling him soft, but it's a 7-foot demigod. I mean, this dude can dribble better than any 7-footer that we've ever seen. Well, I mean, now it's normal in today's game, but before, I mean, we never seen anybody 7 foot that could dribble like that. He shoots way above his head to where he can't get blocked. I mean, if Rodman gets physical, I mean, if we're playing in today's game, we going to the line. Give me them 3 free throws. Give me them 2 free throws. I just personally, I see the Warriors taking down that Chicago team.
But you can say that all you want. You say no.
Yeah, we're in a different. It's just a different era, and it's a different game. It's a different game style. Like it's hard to argue that. It's hard to argue, but in my personal opinion, I'm taking that Warriors team, and I'm gonna stick to them.
And I appreciate that, but I'm gonna give you one last rebuttal, and then I'll be done. I promise. You said Steph Curry's never been shut down. Well, you look at that 16-17 team and those Warriors teams. Did he win the Finals MVP? He didn't.
No, that's because he had Kevin Durant on his team.
That's fair. That's fair. He also played a Robin to Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant,
LeBron, the best player in the league, if he could guard KD, then maybe Curry would have won that Finals MVP, averaging 27 points a game. I mean, he would have won if KD averaged anything under 30. He would have won MVP.
Listen, I'm not discrediting that. What I'm saying is that Steph Curry played a Robin on that team. And I have watched Steph Curry get shut down.
Thank you for saying that. Because
I have watched Steph Curry shoot poorly, and because he was defended well. All I need you to do is go back to last year and watch the finals between Boston and Golden State. Yeah. No, Steph Curry had his games. He did. But Go back and watch games 1 and 3, and you tell me if Steph Curry's ever been shut down. Marcus Smart was inside his pants. He was in the bag.
I'm talking about this 2016 Curry though.
2016, 2017. Curry isn't as good as this Curry is. Last year's Curry was better than 16, 17 Curry.
I mean,
just saying.
I mean, he also had Kevin Durant on his team, so yeah. I mean, I can't argue that. But
if your argument's KD, that's fine.
I'm taking KD. Like, I mean, that's the whole argument. That's the only reason this Warriors team is even in the conversation with this Bulls team. That's the only reason. It's because they have Kevin Durant. That's it. That's the only reason.
All right.
If you take Kevin Durant off that
team, it's over with. It's over with. Great. I like this little fight at the end. I like that. Two great teams, without a doubt.
Yes, sir.
Without a doubt.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, Bino, you probably weren't even born to see Chicago and really to feel that impact that those guys had. It was special, no doubt about it. The Warriors were special too for this era, but I ain't gonna get into that. I know who I think it was between the two teams, but great fight tonight. We got the finals totals on tonight, and Gene, of course, tonight defended his championship again tonight. So he comes out and handles business. Bino, you are awesome tonight. Great fire, great passion tonight. Super proud of how you represented on tonight. But Gene is the champ again, and since he's the champ, Gene, tell everybody where they can find you. You just about every day, but go ahead, tell them where they can find you. Man.
I really would rather take this time to shout out the Guys Huddle. Those guys over there, Rhyan and Trey, are awesome to listen to. I really enjoyed their shows. They have shows almost every night. It's cool to listen to those guys. If you haven't followed them yet, follow them now. They're great. I'm on Wire to Wire Wednesday night. That's my bread and butter. Cheap Seats Monday night. Thursday night pregame and Pigskins coming back as well as the Guys Huddle. I try to get on as many shows as possible. You'll see me a ton on the Sports Empire Network. You'll also see me going live at Wire to Wire. But I really wanted to take the time to shout out the Guys Huddle because those guys are legit. I really love the work Rhyan and Trey do and their team. And their wrestling show is awesome too. I've been getting back into wrestling, so I've been using that as a little bit of a help to help catch me up.
All right, Bino, let everybody know where they can find you, man.
Yes, sir. Also, I want to shout out to Rhyan and Trey too, man. They did awesome tonight. Same to Gene, big time, both of y'all. Appreciate y'all. But you can find me on the Sports Empire Network as well. We got a new show about to launch out. It's going to be a night show, just kind of going over topics in the sports world throughout the week. So y'all can definitely check in on the Sports Empire Network. You'll find us there. And hopefully I'll be on the big time show soon. So
you will.
But I appreciate y'all tonight, man. Hey, chat, I appreciate y'all too. Showing me some love in the chat, man. I really appreciate it from last week. My first show ever, I kind of took it real personal last week, man, because it was my first time ever being on a live show. So just kind of got the butterflies out now. So I definitely appreciate y'all showing love and supporting me, man. So
before you go forward, number 2. Before you go forward, I need to give one shout out to Big Time. Absolute incredible moderator, incredible host. Guy brought the energy the entire show. If you're not following the Big Time show, you need to go follow it now. Outside the Dallas Cowboys and Lakers content, the guy is unbelievable. The most talented thing you can do in podcasting and in radio is talking to yourself, right? Like we all get on shows with other people, but talking to yourself is the most talented thing you have to do. If you don't think it's tough, I want you to go live for yourself for 1 hour and hold a conversation with topics with nobody else but your chat. Big Time does that twice a week, every week. Guy's incredible at what he does. And if you haven't followed him yet, give him a follow now.
Appreciate that, Gene. And for those that want to know where you can find me, it's simple. Go to the Big Time Show on either Facebook or on YouTube. The Big Time Show is simple. My next live will be on Saturday at 3:00. Listen, I want to send a shout out to everybody on the panel who did a awesome job tonight. Rhyan and Trey, of course, Gene and Bino, awesome job tonight. What you don't see, ladies and gentlemen, is the people in the background, our judges, Want to thank them on tonight. Want to spend a special shout out to Dylan Beeks Sr. and Freddie Henderson for asking me to do this host. It was fun tonight. I appreciate it. I hope that you guys will tune in on next week. And if I'm not mistaken, this same time, we'll be back again next week for some more fire. That's all the way I can describe it. Please don't ask me what we're talking about. I don't know yet. All I can promise you is that whatever we talk about, we're going to do it well. We're going to do it in spectacular fashion. And we're going to be some of the greats. You ain't getting some of this on ESPN. Man, forget Stephen A. Forget all these folks. I got Gene. I got Bino. I got Ryan. I got Trey. I'm riding with them guys. It ain't no question about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out tonight. Gene did it one more time, y'all.
Shout out to Key.
Shout out to Key and Freddie in the back and Dylan and his daughter again, Isla, who was our commentator of the night, our chat person of the night. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week, this same time. Follow the Sports Empire Network page. Type that in. Also go to the Variety Sports Network. Follow these shows. These where you'll find Trey and Ryan. This is where you'll find Gene on the Sports Empire Network. You also find him on the Variety as well. That's finding myself on the same two channels. Bino's on the Sports Empire Network. We just grinding out here, y'all. We just trying to do something. That's all.
Sir.
We just trying to do something. If you don't like it, get into the chat and tell us what you don't like. It's just that simple, y'all. Other than that, enjoy the show. Next week, it's going to be crazy. I'm going to be crazier. Gene is going to be on fire because he don't want to let the championship go. Bino for his second show, or he's done a couple other shows, but for his second time in something like this, he's going to be outstanding. Get ready for him. I'm telling you now. He's going to come to the big time show because ain't no cowboy love. I got to get him with us, man. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging with us tonight. Y'all can go to bed now. We're going to holler at y'all. We'll see you next week here at the Guys Empire Show. God bless y'all. See y'all later.